syndrome?
Alpha-gal syndrome was something that was once extremely rare in this country. That is a fact, but it is becoming more and more common as more people develop an allergy to red meat after getting bitten by a Lone Star tick, which is the tick you see with the white dot on its back. And over the last several years, cases of alpha-gal syndrome have skyrocketed by almost 10,000%. And now, headline after headline, all asking the same question: how could a tick-borne illness suddenly be impacting so many people, not just people living in rural America, but in suburban America as well? And then we heard from Dr. Matthew Lau at the World Science Festival 10 years ago.
People eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would, it would actually really help the planet. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Oh, okay. And then you start...
Again, remember, the very ones who claim to be caring for humanity will be the ones bringing disease and disaster. Now, notice carefully. I won't give you all the commentaries I gave when I interviewed the Sanchez a few moments ago during Midday Power Surge. But notice which foundation is connected to this. All right? Let's move past that. Listen.
In lab-grown meat, and now we've got almost 500,000 Americans living with a rare tick-borne illness that makes people allergic to meat, but not the lab-grown meat that
he's the one pushing. So we understand where these things are tending.
Nicholas Hulscher is an epidemiologist at the McCullough Foundation. He's been talking about this for months. Nick, great to have you back. Right now, there are 79 cases of alpha-gal syndrome in Rhode Island. They've never seen that before there. And 10 states are reporting more emergency room visits for tick bites than they've ever seen before. What do you think is really going on here?
There's a major tick problem going on, and it appears nobody's talking about it. None of the large news outlets. This is very serious. We have to remember, a new study came out a few months ago, and they literally found alpha-gal syndrome, the incidence of alpha-gal syndrome, the allergy to red meat from the Lone Star ticks, skyrocketed up 10,000% in just 10 years. And then we look to 2021 to 2024, it jumped up another 300%, another sharp increase. So something's going on. Something is driving these ticks.
Did I say when you see this, the so-called new exalted form of religion is coming? That's what Great Controversy, page 589 says. And of course, the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, have all been involved in said pestilence, Alpha G. All right. This comes from Bioethics, Health Journal.
And lastly, we have seen a peer-reviewed paper published in the journal Bioethics. Professors from Western Michigan University, they lay out that they say it's morally required to intentionally genetically engineer Lone Star ticks to spread alpha-gal syndrome as a form of moral bioenhancement to stop people from eating meat. You can't make this up. So bioethics.
And friends, here it is. So in other words, it's morally obligated to actually engineer these ticks to bite people, and the end result, the people will stop eating red meat. That is tyranny. And this is where it is stated in the National Library of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, right there. It's morally obligatory to create these ticks, to bite people, and they will leave flesh foods alone. That's wickedness.
Just quickly, do you think it's a coincidence that cases of Lyme disease are now setting records in states and...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here. That's the point I simply wanted to make. As Great Controversy, page 589 says, the very same ones who act as a great physician or we want to take care of humanity, are the ones that will bring the disease and disaster. Watch carefully now.
Surprise me.
Check yourself for ticks. Check your children for ticks when you come into the house. It doesn't matter where you are. This used to be something that if you were hiking, if you were a rancher, if you were on a farm, if you were outdoors a lot, you had to worry about. Now it's happening. They just found an alpha-gal tick in Central Park. Now, granted, a dog could have traveled and brought that there, but people in cities and suburban areas are now at risk. Why?
I was going to move on, but I had to put that point in. Let's get now to Google. Is Google into medicine? What is Google known for? Watch this carefully here.
Google is best known for search engines and smartphones, so you might...
Best known for what? For medicine. For what?
Google is best known for search engines and smartphones, so you might wonder why the company is proposing to release millions of bioengineered mosquitoes in Florida. It is part of an effort to reduce the spread of dangerous diseases like West Nile virus. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Glasser explains the science behind this idea and why the tech giant is involved.
Well, it may sound unusual, but Google has filed an application with the EPA seeking approval to release up to 32 million specially treated mosquitoes in Florida and California over the next 2 years.
The proposal is part of Google's Debug Initiative, a project launched more than a decade ago to find new ways to control mosquitoes, which spread diseases, making them the deadliest animal on the planet.
Mosquitoes are the #1 cause of death of humans. I mean, why not? We'll help the human race.
The mosquitoes would be bioengineered, infected intentionally with a naturally occurring bacteria called Wolbachia. Scientists say when the sterilized male mosquitoes then mate with wild females, the eggs don't hatch.
That can cause...
How many of you believe that these laboratory manufactured insects are really for our good? Who believes that? Clip 2.
So, what do folks think about this massive mosquito release?
I think it's interesting. I'm not sure about whether I want it in my backyard because there could be a lot of things that go wrong.
Yeah, when you make a commitment like that, you really can't step back from it.
If it's proven to work and it's going to keep them from breeding more, I guess it could work.
Google says it plans to use artificial intelligence and robotic systems to help breed and sort the mosquitoes on a scale large enough to make the strategy effective.
If they're spending all that money to make you well,